Hey, good morning, church. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me yet again today. I'll do my very best to keep getting these videos out to you. It won't happen daily, but at least twice a week, so you can look forward to spending time with me in the Word. Now, I've spoken from Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 before, but I wanted to explore a different angle of this passage with you this morning. So let's look at Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us." Now, I've spoken from this passage before, focusing on sin and the need to take off from ourselves anything that entangles us and weighs us down. But today I wanted to look at the second half of that verse, the importance of running with endurance the race. You see, a lot of us in the church, a lot of Christians succumb to the pressure of being super, hyper, vibrant, incredibly passionate, like world-class superstar Christians, if you will. We have this pressure that what it means to be Christian is to be this over-the-top, incredibly zealous, always joyful, always perfect person. And we focus on what it means to be a successful Christian, and no such thing exists in the Bible. We're called to be faithful, not successful, faithful followers of Christ. And a lot of us treat this race that we're in as if though it was a sprint, and it's not. This is a marathon. Think faithful, long-term, not immediate, quick, short-term burst of energy or burst of faithfulness. And I thought the best way to explain it to you, I have some object lessons with me today, this morning, is let's look at these two different lighters. I have two lighters here with me. One is your standard barbecue lighter, and the other one is I guess they call them jet lighters. These are fast, very impressive lighters. They have a steady stream. They're very potent. They light things very, very quickly. I mean, if you look at it, it is a very impressive lighter. The thing with this lighter is it wows us. It has a steady stream. Like I said, it is a powerful lighter. It is usable and effective, but only for a short amount of time. The intensity with which it burns is remarkable. However, it consumes the fuel so quickly and becomes useless in a matter of minutes. If I were to keep this on and just not let go, very, very soon the fuel would just run out. Though powerful it is, and though impressive it is, and though intense it is, it just will not last long term. Now, this other one is perhaps less impressive from a external view. Maybe as we look at it, it's easy to judge it and say, well, it's not as fancy as the jet lighter, but it also gets the job done. And the thing is, this one can stay on much, much longer. I can keep my finger on this one, and because it's a slow, steady, faithful burn, it will long outlast the intensity and the quick flash of that jet lighter. And church, this is exactly what our faith ought to be. Not this quick, flashy, intense, momentary, powerful zeal that then fades away, dies, and becomes effectively useless, but a steady, slow, faithful burn that will be effective months, heck, even years after the intensity of that jet lighter is gone. This is what our faith ought to be. We ought to look to be faithful, running this race with endurance, knowing that the Christian life is a long one, knowing that there's going to be hills and valleys, there's going to be hurdles for you to overcome, there's going to be pitfalls and challenges. Not every day in your walk with God, not every day as a Christian is going to be an amazing day where you're feeling fantastic. And there's no need to lie. There's no need to be pretentious. There's no need to act like every day is easy. We're not. Paul says we are sorrowful but rejoicing. But he's acknowledging that not every day is pleasant. And not every day is easy. You're going to have days when you mess up. You're going to have days when you falter. But don't look at it as though you need to put on some facade and just burn with this incredible zeal, putting this pressure on yourself through the flesh to sort of acquire a level of righteousness that is unrealistic and unbiblical. We're called to be faithful, that steady burn that still loves the Lord, still desires to honor Him, even when we have low times, even when we have difficult times, but remains true to the end and long outlasts the quick flash and emotional burst that we see. So church, I encourage you to focus on the goodness of God. Of course, as I always say, and I'll always say this, keep practicing the spiritual disciplines that stir your affections towards the Lord. Spend time in the Word, spend time in prayer. Do the things Build the foundation for yourself that will enable you to live a long, faithful life with God, a long, faithful, enduring race, this marathon that we've been called to. Don't think that you don't measure up to other Christians because they seem to be very passionate and very zealous, and things seem to be very intense in their faith, and praise God for those moments. But if you think that's all that Christianity is, you're just wrong, and you're believing a lie. Sometimes the Christian life is difficult, and sometimes you will be discouraged. Sometimes you're going to have days where it feels like if it wasn't for the grace of God, you would never make it. And that's quite true. If it wasn't for the grace of God, we wouldn't make it. But because of the grace of God, we shall endure. And so I just remind you from this word, don't be a intense lighter that burns up in a matter of days or months and then is lost forever. Allow yourself to be that faithful, enduring, patient, but committed flame for the Lord. Well, thank you so much for taking this time to spend with me. It has been a pleasure as always to make these videos, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care, and God bless.